listen. All right. The energy here is amazing. What is that? What does that mean?
This is like I got this the other night from one of the ladies at the sipping shop, and it's basically just a part of like the third eye part where it gives you your clarity, peace, balance. So I wear it from one of the sisters who gave it to me, just to help keep peace and balance.
Wow, that is amazing. Do you feel like you're in line with your spirituality?
I finally am aligned because here's the thing. I grew up Baptist, grew up in a church. I'm a Christian, but not like non-denominationally. Basically, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't go to church, but I believe in God.
You believe in Jesus?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I'm spiritual. I'm not religious because spirituality is something to hear. For me, religion is something that's just taught, and you gotta
Right.
go by this, go by that. But for me, my relationship with God and the Most High and higher powers come from this, like whatever's here and here and here. So
Right.
yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. Did you always think that way?
I didn't.
No?
No, because like I said, growing up is you got to go to church every Sunday, sometimes Wednesday, sometimes 3 times on Sundays, and it's just a matter of you. That's what you taught.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And you only know what you're taught, and it's based off you can't do this, you can't do that, can't wear this, you can't wear that. If you do this, you're going to hell. If you do this, God is not pleased. What about the people that God in the Bible really looked out for, even though they were prostitutes, they were sinners, they were, thieves and robbers? There's a lot of people that God loved regardless. And I don't feel like enough of those people get the platform or the shine or the light to show that, if Jesus saved somebody like me, he can save them too. Far too often we're seeing people that don't have the bruises on them, don't have the scars on them. We see the polished product. You know what I'm saying? So in seeing the polished product, it makes it harder for you to think that you can achieve that because you didn't get to see what went on to get that polished product. So that's why I walk in my alignment, and whatever that brings is showing people that, this is what you got to go through to get through, but the finished product did come with some scars.
Right. And here on the Deafine Podcast, we like to talk about those scars.
Mm-hmm.
Not to emphasize on them, to just show you what's really real, right? Because oftentimes we go on IG, we go on social media, and we see people that polish themselves in a way and set this narrative like if they're perfect, but we all go through real things, and that's why we like to invite real people, and we talk about defining moments and what defines them as an individual. Today we have a special guest. She's a boss. She embodies hard work, dedication, perseverance.
Yes, thank you.
She knocked down a lot of doors, and not only did she do that, she created a blueprint where other creators and artists can build on. She's the CEO, visionary for Stryngz Me. So she's here to pull some strings with her new book, Let Me Pull Some Strings.
For you and you. Let me pull some strings for y'all now.
Yeah, so we're here to talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Hey y'all, how's everybody doing? Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you even, wanting to have me have to sit down with you. And that's important too, because people gotta know, you know what I'm saying? Like you can post and make a post to shout me a person out all day, but people want to get to the relatable side of what's being sold to them. So let's talk about it.
And that's also a part of branding, right? I think stories are really important, and that's why we invite people like you, because you have a crazy story and you kind of flipped it for yourself.
I did.
And talking about someone who came from maybe a rough area.
Or not even just necessarily a rough area, just a rough
upbringing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we want to get to the root and the stem of why people think the way they think.
Okay.
Usually I bring people on and we want to pick their brains. We want to know what's in their heart and in their mind, right? So talk a little bit about your upbringing.
Okay.
And how did you transcend to where you are today?
All right. So, I was raised in Miami, born and raised in Miami till I was about
9.
5. True city girl. But I was raised in Miami, born there till I was about 9 or so. DCF took us away from my mom. We placed in foster care. We bounced around from family, Miami, Cali. My grandparents, my aunt, RP to them. Well, to my aunt and my uncle, my grandparents are still alive. And I love my mom dearly. My dad, I didn't meet till I was 14. There was a lot of things that transpired that built me to who I am today because as a parent and being a parent, the things that I went through, I couldn't dare take my children through. And I almost did briefly, but it was hard growing up, without your mother, your father, and you're in a house with a bunch of other kids and they have their mother and father, and you're like, God, that's all I want. So it put me in the mind frame to go out there and be totally opposite. Because growing up, yeah, she gonna be just like her mom, but she gonna be because my mom never got us back. I was like 10. So I'm the oldest of four. So all that time, and even growing up in the house before DCF took us, I've been the leader. I've been looking out for my siblings. I've been looking out for my mama. So it just pretty much and a life like that, it can either make or break you. It could turn you cold, you could succumb to it, or it could push you to do the opposite narrative, to go harder, to pave a better way for those who are coming up and those who are around you. So for me, it put me to want to do something different. And even then, the stuff that people know about Stryngz now, TeAndra now, it was the same stuff. I've been going through it all my life. So even going to school, being picked on, I still was getting good grades. I was still trying out for different curriculum things, extracurricular activities. I was still doing entertainment. I've always loved to be, in this field. Like
You like the spotlight.
I love it. But I love people more. So anything that could put me in connection with people and having a platform and being able to speak, I'm with that. I'm with that. Yeah. So,
That is so dope. You said something that's essential. That you said you was almost on the verge of following your mom's footsteps.
yeah, I went.
And the reason I think that's so like defining is because often we don't know, but history repeats
It
itself,
does.
right?
Mhm.
We only know what we see and what was taught to
Mhm.
us, and it's so hard to get out of that generational curse
Oh man.
because I experienced it, and it's
Mhm.
been one of the most challenging and forthcoming things that I've had to do.
Mhm.
But once you get out of that mindset, it's a habit, right? We
Yeah.
all create habits within the things that we see and the things that we do. Once you break out of that habit, it becomes liberating.
Oh man. And just to touch on that, I literally just the other night was having this conversation with my kids and they're like, you're so hard on us. I'm like, if you knew why I'm so hard on you, because I'm trying to break that generational curse.
Right.
I want to break the cycle. I want to, show y'all something different, give y'all something that I didn't get. And by doing so, I'm gonna be hard on you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna
I can
make sure.
relate so much to what
Yeah.
you're saying. My
Like,
son said that all the time, but I'm super hard. It's because I don't want you to have the same paradigm that I grew up on. That
right,
same mindset, that same
right.
not holding yourself accountable, taking easy routes and shortcuts. Because
Yeah.
life is not about that. Life,
And or you could not have somebody not care at all, which is what I went through,
mm,
when in the house. Not saying that my man, we got on. Some people like, yo, for what y'all went through, y'all like people turn their back on their parents. Even my dad, I just repaired that relationship because I didn't meet him till I was 14. Again, and with my children's fathers, I'm like, bro, y'all don't know I'm so hard on y'all. It didn't work out relationship wise, or not for nothing, but the bond you need to have with your kids matters, and it's the little things. Forget the money, the time, the attention, the I'm so proud of you, the what are you doing today, or how was your day? So there are different things that I didn't grow up having. You wouldn't be able to tell that with how I am with my kids. And even like I'm a grandma now. I'm hoping that my son is going to instill a lot of that stuff in his thought. And if he doesn't,
yeah.
right. But yeah, it's definitely generational curses. And again, I've said this: you can either be a victim or you can be victorious. It's up to you. You are the ruler of your own destiny. Yeah, bro. Like I've gone through. I've slept in cars. I've been homeless. I've done drugs. And that's why I say I almost was my mom,
Right.
and I've gone through all that
What
type of
was,
stuff.
not to cut you off, but what was that moment you realized that you had to change? Because you
Oh,
get so caught up in the fast life.
in that moment, it was my kids, and they loved me. They did not care regardless. But I know at one day I just looked at them and I'm like, I'm really becoming a mom. I had my one daughter was with me. My oldest daughter she was with me on the road. We sleeping in the cars. She thugging it out with me. My son's over here. My baby girl is over there. That's the life I went through as a kid.
Mm.
And that moment made me realize you're not doing that. You promised yourself you wouldn't do that even before you had kids. You promised yourself you wouldn't do that. My love for my children outweighs any drug, any man, anything. Like I love these kids and everything I'm doing right now is for them
Right.
and my grandchild and the generations to come because I wanted to be the person to break that generational curse. I'm a first generation college girl. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't finish, but I went,
Right.
and I can say that on a 4-year academic scholarship. So I set the tone. I got 3 kids who graduated with a high school diploma.
Mm.
That's good.
Right. That's
Brooklyn is all the way up out of there in a few years, but that's not normal for the circumstances that I was put in. So to be able to fight my way through that and raise these kids on my own, I was married, divorced, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, raise these kids on my own, raise good boys, you know. After I've done what I've done and people, kids, siblings, whatever, everybody's going to venture off and try to find their way. And it may be a little, you got to let them go for a minute, which is the hardest thing to do, is to watch somebody go out there and pretty much run into traffic. But sometimes you got to.
You got you. That's
because I ran into traffic.
Right.
And I had to be like, all right, remember what you said.
Yeah.
You know.
It's holding yourself accountable.
Yep.
And that's really important, especially this day and age, because people have this perception that life is easy because of what we see like on social media and stuff like that. I'm talking mainly to like the younger generation. Those are mainly the people that watch this. It's not. You know, everything that you see on social media is polished, like you said. People put the best version of themselves, and they skip the hard work, the dedication, the breaking through walls, and having these important conversations like you're talking right now. What was that like for your kids?
As far as watching me,
watching you, and then you know coming to that moment when
let me tell you, them kids are my biggest supporters. Like I'm about to tear up just talking about it. Nah, because
shout out to your kids.
Shout out to JT, Jaden, Skylar, and Brooklyn, and you too, Mister. But it's so crazy because I was just posting. I was just posting.
You can take a minute if you want.
Yeah, it's just I'm so emotional because I don't think they understand.
You're so transparent, vulnerable, and I love your energy. I'm gonna take it off topic for a second, and this is the reason I invited you, is because I study people.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, social media is one of the outlets that I search for people, search for talent. And I don't specifically have an agenda of what type of person that I want to bring on. Mm-hmm. I just want good people that have a good story that can transcend to others who may feel demotivated, who may be going through some trials and tribulations and don't know how to get out of it.
Yes, and that's why I'm here, because I want to show you my scars. I want to show you the wounds. I want to, and I, it's so crazy because pouring into what I do for the artists, I'm always like begging them, please trust the process. You're not going to make it overnight. It's going to happen over time. But if you just trust the process, if you put in the work, if you stay diligent, if you focus, and, you know, just to go back on my kids, like times where I feel defeated, they're like, no, good job. We're proud of you. Like, help me get ready. Brooklyn and make sure my outfit is good. You know, the kids will repost my stuff and making sure I'm straight. Like, oh, man, that's amazing.
They're your foundation.
They are my foundation. So it's like to know how hard I had it and how easy I try to make it for them, but not too easy to where they don't grasp everything. Right. But it's like, man, I'm in love with my children. Like now I love them. I'm literally in love with my kids. And I need them to understand and know I'm doing this for them, but I also want them to do it for themselves. Right. Getting what I didn't get in my childhood, getting it from me to push through life. And I'm a big heart because even in like a relationship, when your husband, your wife, your spouse stop complaining, you got a problem.
Exactly.
So if I don't say nothing to you, you got a problem. So I'm on them, and just on the artists, on people. I talk to them. You see, even with my people, like I'm gonna have conversations. I sit down with the homeless. I'm sorry, the friends. We gonna talk. I'm gonna find out what got you here, and I'm just gonna let you just pour it out loud.
Right.
Because sometimes it's all people need to do.
Yeah.
And you never know the effect it can have on, like, just us having this conversation.
You know what I'm saying? I was about to say that.
You never know what that a simple conversation
it's important,
can do.
man. It's important. Even a lot of people have an agenda and what they want to do. Like I said earlier, I just want to spread positive messages. You know, we had a tough time in the world, man. There's a lot going on. But I want to touch up on something you just said, man. You plant seeds in artists and creators and people that you work with, and you try to show them the long game. What's at the end of the tunnel if you put in all this work. I have done that for quite some times with friends and family, and it's so time consuming and draining. How do you keep the same enthusiasm?
Yes.
While dealing with people that don't see the vision that you have? Because listen, I believe that sometimes people need a push, right? People need you to believe in them until they believe in themselves. But sometimes that takes more out of you than when it does positively for them.
And I've been there a few times where I had my breakdowns, which is what led me to my defining moment.
Hey, talk about it.
You know, and it's like, I'm going way harder for them than they're going for themselves. That is draining. And it breaks you down on a spiritual level because you're trying so hard to get them to see it and they don't see it. So now you're pressing yourself, and your energy, your mental, everything is draining. You don't want to do it anymore because you're burnt out from emotions, from working, hitting the road, like everything. And so I'm at the point now where it's my B season. It's the major season. So either you get on board or this ship is sailing. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what type of value I can bring to an artist, to a producer, to a podcast, just to anybody that comes on this path with me. I know the value it can bring, but do you know the value you can bring? Exactly. So now let's match energies and make something shake. But if you're not going to do that, we're wasting time. Like I no longer have time to waste time.
I love that. I love that. You said that perfectly.
Yeah, I don't have time.
Sometimes you got to know your own value, and sometimes you got to separate from
and you'll go through a lot before the defining moment happens.
Right.
Because I was ready to throw in the towel. Oh my God, what do you want me to do? This is what I know. This is my passion. Music. Been in love with music forever. I used to rap. I wrote raps third, fourth grade. So and people in the industry, I've learned. I got connections. I'm bigger than a lot of people who got money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm humble about that. But again,
talk your shit, girl.
It's like, okay, but it's like, what am I supposed to do? So, and that's when I went on my spiritual moment, and it's like, take a break, do a 90-day fast off alcohol. Show me your obedience, and I'm gonna reward you with focus. I wrote a book in 6 days. Shout out to Let Me Pull Some Stryngz for you.
Yo, let's talk about it. That's exactly why you're here. You're gonna pull some strings for people, man. Let's talk about this book a little bit. What inspired you to write this book? It's like a blueprint for artists and creators, right?
And not even just artists and creators. Like I have people who are beauticians, nurses, even just regular people, because the book is basically, it's a starter guide for upcoming artists in the industry. But it starts out with teaching you how to separate your business from your personal. So you being a business persona, I'm TeAndra on person, but I'm Stryngz in business. They're two separate entities. And you got to know how to move like that. Because once you start moving like a business, you'll be respected like one. Right. You'll get the credibility like one. When you're just your regular self, like, okay, who are you? What do you bring to the table? So this happened again when I was ready to throw in the towel on just moving, period. So
you, at one point you thought about removing yourself from the industry?
From the industry, yeah. I was like, I'm done. I'm over it because I'm going too hard. They're not the energy is not reciprocated. So,
but sometimes it takes 10 years to get that 1 year that you need.
This is that year. This is my 10th year, and this is that year because I'm having my way with this shit right now. You know what I'm saying? Like this is only the second month.
Second month
of 2022, and it's that month, it's that year. It's about to be the
me
10
season.
years. It's the me season. It's the major season. No longer, and this is for any and everybody watching this podcast, watching this conversation, hearing these words. Do not move averagely. I don't care if you're a custodian. I don't care if you're a dog walker. Walk that dog the best way you know how to walk a dog. That way, when you standing out, people don't have no choice but to pay attention. And now you've set the tone for everybody around you, everybody that you're going to inspire. And it's like, you've done your job. You're in your meat season. You majorly moving. And that's the key. Consistently, diligently, majorly moving.
Yeah.
That's what we got to do. I'm in my teaching mode right now. So the book and who I am and everything that I've done prior to now just set me up for the engagement, the interaction. You know, now everybody's like, they like before, yeah, they know Stryngz, they know TeAndra, but I didn't have as much leverage, and leverage is key. So with everything that they've seen me do and people they've seen me around and the work I put in, now it's like, no, I want her book because I know, you know what I'm saying? Like what she talking about is golden.
It's solidified.
I like your mindset because that's what I be trying to get. Okay, you can focus on the problem and you can focus on the solution.
Mm-hmm.
You could be like, damn, I don't know how to work this camera. I got one, but guess I won't do it.
Yeah.
No, I know how to work this phone, so we finna figure this out like this. Exactly. And then until I get to the point where I know how to work the camera. Meanwhile, I'm not gonna miss opportunities because I don't know how to work the camera.
Exactly.
I'm gonna make more opportunities.
Exactly. That wasn't an issue. That's something that just happened. I'm like, okay, I need a camera. I wanted to buy a good camera because not only I want to do this podcast, eventually I'm gonna transition into YouTube. Once you start getting into clips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing that with my son and behind the scenes and doing, we're gonna be moving around a lot. So that's something I'm really inspired. But when I first brought the camera out, I'm like, yo, there's a million different types of settings. What the hell am I doing? I'm like, yo, I'm gonna put this shit down. I'm gonna pick up my phone.
It's expensive, ain't it?
Yeah, it was almost 2,000. Yeah.
But it's
I should have started off cheaper, but I seen like the reviews and I was watching a lot of YouTube videos and they were like, this is.
But if you would have started off at a level to where that would help you transition easier, it probably would have been better.
Yeah. It would have. I don't know.
It's all good. You got it now. Now you just got.
Yeah, now I'm stuck with it.
Figure out what to do.
Yeah, I think it was like $1,600, but it's all good.
Thank you for having me. Let me tell y'all, if you are anybody starting out on anything, any point of your journey, actually, you don't even got to be starting out. If you just are stuck in a rut or you don't know how to get to the next level, cop my book. The book is it's basically like a digital at the moment. It's digital. It's got a journal style feel to it. It's informative. It's very easy to breeze through. It's about 30 minutes, but you're gonna get like so much heftiness of jewels out of this book. I was blown away after I wrote it.
That's amazing.
I was like, I wrote this.
That's amazing. You talked about earlier that you're in student mode. So for a long time, I mean, you're in
teacher mode.
So for a long time, you was in student mode.
Right.
Which is gasping the game,
just getting it, soaking it in. Yep.
Soaking it in. What made you want to write this book? Because that's a long process.
The thing that, I mean, it is, but it wasn't a long process for me. It took 6 days.
It took 6 days, but how many years did it take?
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? That's what a lot of people think.
Yeah, it didn't happen overnight. I wrote it in 6 days, but the knowledge that I obtained in 10 years, that's how long it took. 10 years is how long it took me to get to the point to where I can actually write a book that will sell and that will appeal to people who are like me or who are in my field of work or surrounding. So yes, it does take a while.
It does.
If you ain't born with it or, born into it, I'm sorry. If you're not born into it or you ain't got some major connection, I'll take that back too because I got connections and stuff too. But you got to have that leverage. You got to have the ability to connect with the people. And over the last decade, I've garnered all of that.
That's amazing. So what about for a person, an artist or creator who doesn't have the leverage, who doesn't have the resources to go out there and do what they want to do? What would you?
You need to buy my book.
Yeah, better go grab that book.
And that's what it's about, though. It teaches you how to gain the leverage. It teaches you how to network, how to do stage presence, crowd control, how to register yourself as a business. how first impressions are lasting when it comes to yourself and appearance, when it comes to things you're putting out to be marketed or, branding. So the book just teaches you how to start out, but also how to navigate. So it's like a roadmap, on your journey to use to facilitate your journey.
Wow, that is amazing. And I'm pretty sure you wish you had something like this when you first came in.
Yes, I do.
So I want to talk about some of the pitfalls and like shortcomings that you had being in this industry, because I know as a female and also a Black female,
Wow, you touched on it. You touched on it. I was just about to say that.
it must be different than the ordinary man dominant industry.
And this is a male dominated industry, but what people don't know is that it's the women that are behind the scenes that are making the men look good. We are the ones, we are the ones that are late night, early mornings, having to babysit artists, having to go through all the actions that we got to go through. It really do be that sometimes. Like your whole life changes, and now you got an extra kid. Not to be belittling or condescending, but you're in like control of somebody's life and journey, and it's been hard being a bold Black woman. I'm a bold Black woman in the music industry. So I don't conform, I'll adapt, but I don't change. Me being so boisterous, my personality is big.
I love
it's
it.
Like,
I love it.
Like this is it. What you see is what you get. And I've encountered where some men are, oh, she's too loud, she's too this, she's too that, she can't do. No, but all along, you don't worry about the ones who have so much negative to say about you. You focus on the people who you really are, who are embracing you, who you're touching, because they are essentially going to tell the people around them. And that's how I got where I am. Me being who I am got me where I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't change. Like, I mean, I've had to take a few times to step back and revamp. But as far as me being the big personality, same ambition, same drive, always willing to help put somebody else on, put somebody else in a room to get without needing nothing in return, that's where my gratification comes from. So, being a woman, being a Black woman, being a bold Black woman, all of those have been pitfalls. I've been rejected. I've had my ideas stolen. I've been looked over for jobs that I know were for me. Now here I am, like, I'm up here, even though I don't act like that.
Right.
But technically, I have people that will have to reach out to me to get to somebody else. It doesn't matter how much money you got if you don't got the personality, if you don't have the network, if you haven't built a relationship. Because relationships, we all know, and if you don't, will take you places that money can't.
That's a fact right there. That is a fact. So, how has been the journey? What is the responses from the book? How was the journey?
Oh man.
Was it an emotional roller coaster to be able to put everything on a piece of paper?
So emotional, because in writing it, I'm really jotting down what I know and what I be wanting the artist to know. So it really was like the stuff I do every day before I decide to write a book. Every month when I'm like, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. So it's everything that I'm already talking about, and I just put it in the book. Now I got people that can't really, and I don't want to say afford me, but it's not in their budget at the moment to afford the other services that I provide. So here, this book is $25. You spend $25 on X, Y, and Z all day long, probably more than that. Why not invest $25 into something that's going to help your career and help your journey or the one you're already on? So the responses of people, like, they've been floored. And I'm like, wait, my book? I'm like, man, Stryngz, thank you for this. This is what I needed. It's like, it's so easy to read. It was like, in reading, you could tell a cool ass person wrote it. Because I love that. I come off like just like this.
The personality of the author.
Yep.
Feel and connect and engage with that. I love that.
Yeah, this one artist was like, man, reading this book, I feel like you're sitting right next to me talking to me. And that was deep and major. And I appreciate him for that, because it's like that's what I was going for. I wanted it to be where it's like you talking to me. And like I was telling you earlier, I'm referred to as Auntie Stryngz. So I always want to have that relationship and that connection with people, not just the artists, but where you can feel like I'm relatable. So my next step in this book journey is to do an audio book, and I'll also be teaching workshops in my Discord room and at different venues.
Oh, that is amazing. I'll definitely be there. Just hanging out with you, exchanging ideas and stuff like that. Your energy is so contagious. You can bring any room that you're around.
Thank you. That has to be true, because I hear it so much.
Yeah. It's amazing. And that's why people gravitate to you.
Yeah.
But you said something that's pivotal, man. You You help people even if there's no benefit in return.
Oh yes.
I've heard something like this or read it. I think I read it in a book saying the definition of success is helping people get what they want so you can get what you want.
Mm-hmm. And go ahead.
Okay?
Oh, and with that, for me, again, it's like I get pure satisfaction of watching something that I set up get a great result. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
It worked for you? That worked for you? Okay, good. Oh, y'all about to be making more money together? Good. Like, that's my satisfaction. One of the greatest human acts is to inspire. You know what I'm saying? So if I can inspire somebody, like, that's why I'm always, my heart has always been with the less fortunate. Where, like, even in school, in high school, I used to sit at the table with the handicapped, that classroom. Because I just like, imagine nobody caring about you. Or you're being isolated or ostracized, and it's just you. But then it's everybody. Nah, everybody from the ball.
Right.
I did that so much, so then people started just sitting there. So now it's like, now they're a part of everything we got going on. You're a human, you're a person. You're going to be treated as such. So if you walk in that alignment, people will fall in line.
Yeah.
So my goal and my purpose that I'm finding is that I'm here to inspire by any means necessary. So if that's showing you my scars, telling you my wounds, letting you see my triumphs, my lows, because I've had many of both. And like right now, I'm in my major. And when I say my major season, my mid season. And I want each and every person watching this, this podcast, this interview I hope what I'm saying resonates with you, no matter who told you you're not good enough, no matter who laughed at you, no matter who said that's going to take forever. You got to understand and know that this is yours. It doesn't belong to nobody else but you. So you have to do exactly what you have to do to get to where you want to be.
Ooh, that's so powerful. I feel like you're speaking directly to me.
Well, I am. For real. I've slept in my car. I've pulled up to when Revolt first came to Miami. I was homeless. I slept in my car. I pulled up to Fountain Blue, went in there, wiped off in the bathroom, walked out. You couldn't tell that I just got out of a car sleeping overnight on the beach. You know what I'm saying? But I walked in, and later that night, I snuck through the back part because I couldn't afford to get in all the events. But I snuck through, and as I'm going through, Diddy's walking up, and I shake his hand. That's Diddy's event. I meet Diddy at that moment where I'm sneaking into the event. I don't miss opportunities to this day. And then the world comes full circle. I met him again. And I stopped him like this. It was him and P from QC. Shout out to QC. Shout out to Diddy. And I put my hand out and I'm like, hold on, we finna get a selfie. Because to me, selfies are more personal. It's like, no, we're going to turn this camera around. And so it's just to show. And as I'm taking, I'm like, yeah, that was me years ago. I was homeless. I'm whispering this to him as I'm taking. I was like, I snuck in your event. And I'm like, thank you. Yeah. So it's like, I'm big on don't miss no opportunities. No opportunity is too big or too small. Had I felt like, oh, you don't got the money to go to Revolt or you can't afford that, you need to wait till you can do that. I didn't take. I knew I need to go out here. I need to show my face. I need to show my brand. I need to make connections. And I did just that. I met people in 2014 that are my forever friends right now from that event. Like, and people that know me from that event, like everything that I've done, like I said, in the last 10 years has been associated with, man, that girl be grinding. Well, she be on it. Like, she don't let nothing stop her. And that's just it. I mean, I ended up on their recap video. The executive producer was like, who is that lady with the pink hair? Seven Streeter was there. I took pictures with her, Tory Lane, this is Rotimi. This is before they got how they are now. Half the people that I met then, I done bent the block. Me and Rick Ross, I met him too. Me and Seven Streeter. I'm in LAX like 3 weeks after that. I'm walking through the airport and I hear pink hair. That's what she called me at Revo. So I turned around. She's like, hey, it's Seven Streeter remembering me. But if you give a person something to remember, they never forget. I saw Rotimi at a movie premiere for a movie that him and Dixie Youngfly was just in, and I mentioned that to him. And then it's like everybody I'm running back into and seeing again. But like I said, don't miss any opportunities. None. I don't care what's in your way. Move it. Go get it.
Go get it by all means necessary. I love that mindset, that go get a mindset.
Got to.
Did you always have that? Was that something that was instilled in you, or
it's just in me? Like
can someone obtain that confidence, that go getter mentality, that grinding every single day?
I think it's a obtainable, but it also has to be in you. You know, you really gotta want to be like that. If not, you're gonna feel forced, and it's not gonna be as
Right.
you're not gonna be as hungry. Now,
I think if you want something, you'll go get it. You won't make excuses.
Exactly.
Right?
It could be
You don't
pulled
want
out of you.
something, you'll put
You make
excuses in the
excuses.
way. And
That's what I'm saying. So, and that happens. I think we both have seen stuff like that with a lot of people, where you could tell how bad the person really wanted.
yeah,
They making it happen. It's nothing standing in their way. Versus, you know, a person is like, man, I ain't got no gas, bro. I didn't have a car. I had got my license had got put on standstill. I was paying rides, catching rides, walking, and I drove around in old cars. I've had a lot of money, lost a lot of money. I done been broke. I done had 5-bedroom houses. So nothing like don't
those material things don't
that's it's
shit.
material. Like you see me sitting here, I'm in my natural state. I don't got no lashes, no makeup. I feel so much more rich right now than when I had $70,000 in the top of my closet.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's just money. But the richness I'm in right now, to where I'm at peace, my bills are paid, my kids are good. I'm out here making my way through the world. I'm teaching, I'm inspiring, I'm setting new footprints. This is my richness. Like I don't need the rest of that. I mean, I do, but I need it.
We got to get to the bag.
Yeah.
But you in your prime right now,
Yeah.
right? Things are gravitating towards you, just like
It definitely
podcasts.
seems like that, yeah.
I seen what you were doing, and from the outside looking in, I'm like, yo, her energy is lit. This is somebody not only I would like to sit with, but maybe have future endeavors.
Yeah, we locked
or
in.
lock in, do something
Yeah.
special for the community. Because I was looking
yes.
at your page, and I believe for your last birthday,
This past birthday,
you did a public like birthday
bash
party
for the homeless.
for the homeless.
Yes.
Talk about that. I admire you so much
Thank you.
because having that, you know, you're around artists, like you said, you're around famous people, you're around regular people. You can afford to do something major, right?
Yeah.
Live it to the fullest. Go extraordinary for your birthday, but you decided to take a step back and make it about other people.
Yes.
How was
I just
that
got chills.
experience? And I think because of those moments and those things that you do for other people, energy is reciprocated and bringing blessings to you.
You think so? I be feeling bad. I'm like, I don't want nobody to think I'm doing all this stuff because I'm looking for something, because I'm not. I'm being who I am supposed to be. And the birthday bash.
Did you get backlash from that?
None.
No, yeah, no. I've done a lot of stuff like that, like giving back and stuff like that, and that's literally from.
I mean, I have received backlash. This ain't my first time working with, the less fortunate. And sometimes, I might post, but it's called inspiring. It's and we're in a social media world. So if I post like this family, because I've done that, like this is to show you guys, can you help them? I've had people help families out. So I can only give them something for the day.
Social media.
Yeah, you got to use it as a platform to get more help. So I had a family. I loaded them all up in my car. They got kicked out of a motel. I don't know them. Husband, wife, kids. They got put out. I put them in my car, paid for them 2 nights at a hotel, put it on Facebook. They got like a month worth of stuff paid, social services helped out. And that's like, it's just, I feel like people who have negative stuff to say about stuff like that are just speaking because they don't know how to be like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
they're
saying?
projecting themselves.
Yeah, and they don't know how to, they want to be like that, but they don't know how to be like that.
But they don't
know how to be like that. And some of us just got that stuff you just can't teach. I got this one guy from Ocala, his name's Cantobi. Cantobi is famous, is all out right now because 2 years ago, I posted him and we got him in a hotel. They got him tent, clothes, this and that. To this day, that was July of 2020 before I came up here. To this day, anywhere this man go, anybody see him, they be like, hold on, I got to show T. Hold on, they call. He like, man, sister knows everybody. Da, da, da. So he can't read or write. He's from Arkansas. He has a story, and it was something with me and him that resonated. So right now, to this day, what I did for him and show the world has been a continuous blessing for him. People are always looking out for him. They always giving him money. He don't want it, like he want to work for it, but it's inspiring. Basically, it motivated others to continue doing something good. And just to sum it up about the birthday bash, like I'm on my 90-day fast and not drinking, so I want to go to a club.
Oh, that's in the process of your.
Yes, I started a 90-day fast January 2nd.
I want to get to that too.
Yeah, I started at January 2nd, and then I'm like, which I've been places where alcohol is at, so I can see. But anyway, we'll get to that. But I'm like, I gotta do something, but I don't want to do too much. Like I'm also on my again alignment, so I want to just keep it less. Yeah, so I'm like, I'm gonna go throw a party with the homes, the friends is what we call it. And it just felt so good because of a lot of people, not enough people, but a lot of people did participate. A lot of sponsors came out. Shout out to everybody who did come out. It was a vibe because my thing is, yeah, they get food and they get clothes, but who's really celebrating things with them? You know what I'm saying? Like think about the last time they've celebrated anything. So I wanted to, we're gonna celebrate me, but we're gonna celebrate y'all too. So it was like they were so excited. And a lot of people don't know this because I posted briefly about it, but I was supposed to have that party on Saturday. The weather said it was going to rain. Moved it up to Friday. Few people could come out because I moved it up. 2 hours into the party, one of the friends um was in his tent and these kids were running. It was like, we need water, we need water. So I go over and like, what's wrong? Y'all don't got to steal no water. They're like, nah, he's having a seizure. I'm like, what? So I drop everything. I'm like, get him out of the tent. They pull him out, and I just immediately start administering CPR. He's dead. He has no pulse. He's not breathing. I'm administering CPR for like 5 minutes, like chest compression. He start coughing. The ambulance pull up. When they pulled me off him and I went over, my whole body was hot. Start crying. I'm like, God, I just got sent on an assignment. You knew it wasn't going to rain tomorrow. You wanted me to come in today because you knew this man needed me to save his life. The next day, it did not rain at all. It did not rain at all the next day, but the weather showed me it was going to rain. And I pushed it up. And I was right there at the right time. So I go back the next day to check on him to see if he made it. The ambulance got there, but we didn't know if he was going to make it. He started coughing and stuff. So I was like, yo, where's that guy? It's okay. They point. It's a tent. He climbs up out the tent, like how when Jesus rose. So I'm looking like, what? Guess what his name is?
What?
Chris Moses. No cap. I'm on my journey. It's my baby.
You believe in the law of attraction?
What? Wholeheartedly. Completely.
That is great.
Yeah, so
I'm
that
just baffled right now. Like
that was like another defining moment. Yeah. Chris Moses.
does that happen often?
A lot to me. All type of things. And be like, what? But I don't really question it because I just know I'm
You living
chosen.
in your true purpose.
I'm chosen. I'm so chosen. My granddaddy helped me up to the moon as a baby.
Mm.
My mom would tell me that all the time. She called me moonchild. But now I really feel it. I've been shot at. I've been in car accidents. I've had so much stuff happen to me that you would think, like, how is this lady still alive? And I'm here because this is my job. That was my duty. That was my assignment to be there at that moment. And as I'm doing it, like everybody's around me, I hear everything, but I'm having an out of body experience. So he hugs me and asks me, he get his phone out the next day. He put the information in his phone. He's like, what's your name? I'm like, Stryngz. He's like, nah, your name's Angel. So he stored me in his phone as Angel. Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
That's insane. Just to
so
hear
happy.
that and the way you explain things, you're such a good storyteller that I can actually visualize. And at one point, I felt like I was in a tear. Like
Yeah.
that is crazy.
Yeah. I was worried.
Did that make you realize or have an epiphany on life?
I've been having epiphanies.
Yeah.
I just know that this was things that happen now, how they happen. I know this is what is supposed to be happening. I don't question it because I know that I am on my purpose. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm in a church group and I told them the story. It was like, wait, you're this person. This type of stuff really happens to me all the time. But and when I asked his name, he said, Chris Moses. And then when I asked him, where is he? Did he make it? Did he live? And they point, and it was a tent. And he climbed up out the tent. He climbed up out of the tent. Like, it was like it felt like it was a movie. Really. Like, for real. It's like, what? Is this happening right now? I hold you so
It's like a
tight.
new level. That's the way it looks. Like it's a new level.
You
Like
know,
there's a
he
new
said to me,
calling. There's a new road, a new
yeah,
something.
this is what else he said to me. He said, because of you, I've been born again. Mm. Mm-hmm.
So after that, did that make you like want to reevaluate your life?
I mean,
Like,
like I said, I told you I'm spiritual.
yeah, yeah.
You know, my relationship with God is just that, my relationship with him. So I'm gonna just keep moving how I'm supposed to be moving, doing what I'm supposed to do. And um Easter, we're going back out there. One of the other girls who helped out, she's gonna do it for her birthday. So now I've set up the trend. So
Yes, you said it.
she's doing her birthday bash in the
I
same
would like to be a part of that.
Yes, you gotta come.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I think would be cool if you came and set up and you interviewed some of them.
I would love to. I would love
That
to.
I think
I actually
it's such a
tried to do
good
something like that
documentary.
4 or 5 years ago when I was in Tampa. I did the same thing. I do something big, massive, massive. I brought a lot of people out. And we were recording, but as we were doing that, I felt this shtick, or I don't know. I felt something inside, and I had to tell him put the camera.
Oh, okay.
It's,
Well, these people, they
it,
know me. They like, and that was the first time. But I think if
I
you
really
got
wanted to captivate that because I've always been on this journey to, I want to say compare, but to look at things that are less than what you have so you can appreciate what you have.
Mhm.
And this is exactly why I built this,
Yeah.
to hear stories. And wherever you at in life,
Mhm.
things could be different for the worst.
Yeah, yeah. For
As
sure.
you grow, you get better. But
Yeah.
you have to grow. You have to make a move. You have
Mhm.
to be willing to get out of your comfort zone and where you are in life to get to that next
Yeah,
level.
what you're saying is very powerful because you have to be with. If you're not, nobody can make you do it. Nobody can tell you, you should. If you're not willing, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
A willing mind and a body is needed in order to, pursue that next level of whatever it is. It could be relationship, work, your kids, a job, anything. Like, you got to be willing.
I want to touch on this. I have a family member who has really bad anxiety to the point where they have to check themselves in the hospital because they feel like as they're having a heart attack or something like that. Have you ever experienced anxiety to the point? Yes. You want to talk about it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've recently just like maybe the last few years have gotten past it, but the anxiety would come from like just what if I can't figure this out? What if this don't work? How am I going to feed the kids? My God, I should be further along in my life. Once I realize that's not going to help the situation, calm down, assess the situation, and put a plan in motion. And then you'll feel better. And so I started doing that instead of stressing about the problem. That's why I'm so big on telling people, don't worry about the problem. All right, that's your problem. You got it. You know that, right? Now let's branch off. What are some things we can do to fix this? Not just look at it. It's a problem.
Actionable steps.
Yes. And they got to be realistic, short-term things that you can, you know what I'm saying? Like connect the dots to, okay, you did that, go to this. You did that, go to this. And listen, anxiety. I had it so bad one time. I had to go to the hospital, and I was on meds because it just was like it made my throat close up. Like I couldn't breathe. Then I got into it with my kids. Like whenever that bad moment we had, well, it was me going through what I was going through. So it was like it was tension because everybody wants better for me, same way I want better, for them or whoever else. And so it just was like, but we're past that. We got past that. But again, yes, anxiety is something that mental health, period. And that's something I'm gonna be touching on too. Mental health, period, is something that we need to speak about and not be afraid or ashamed of to talk about because there are people every day going through what you're going through that can help you get through stuff. So, and I spoke on my mental health, I spoke on anxiety, and I just started, doing what I needed to do to get past it.
Started dealing with it. A lot of people, man, are stuck in this rut, and they feel as though they won't be able to get out of it for whatever reason. I became deaf when I was 13 years old. I've said this many times on this podcast, and I grew up in the projects in New York City, and when I left, I realized that I had PTSD from some of the situations that I've been through.
Imagine.
with, becoming deaf from one day to another.
Yeah.
Just imagine losing your sense.
And as a teenager.
And then as a teenager, growing up in an
Oh,
atmosphere that's
yeah.
was not
Yeah.
totally safe,
Mhm.
right? Having to watch your back and just
Mhm.
crazy stuff.
Mhm.
As I grew out of that, I started to accept those things.
Mhm.
And as I started to do that, I started feeling better.
Mhm. See,
But
I
sometimes
said
we're
accept
afraid
yourself.
to admit that we have gone through some stuff, and especially as men, it's like our
You know
ego.
why? You know why men are afraid? Because all you hear all your life is shut up before I give you something to cry about. Look at you crying like a little
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like men are supposedly programmed to be just
Alphas.
hardcore. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's another thing when we talk about, mental health, not to cut you off, but it's like what you went through was traumatizing, right? All of it in itself. But had you been able to express this, it might not have been as traumatizing. Or if you had somebody to help you get through things without making you look like why are you crying, or why are you upset, or why are you saying this and that, then you probably would have been able to get through it better. But we, because I grew up in a bad situation too, we're not giving that outlet. And because we're not giving that outlet, we figure it out the best way we can. And a lot of times that leads to frustration, that leads to people getting on drugs, that leads to people wanting to hurt, harm, or kill. So it has a lot to do with, I don't know no other way to release this anger. I'm gonna go kill somebody. That's where you push me to. I'm gonna rob a bank. I'm poor. I need money. Oh, I'm a felon. Now I can't get a job. Like, it's a systematic circle, like you don't want me to do nothing bad, but the moment I do, you're not trying to figure out why I did it. You want to punish me because I did it. But if you get to the why, maybe you can give me a different recourse and to where it never happen again. Now you got a person that is a continual, consistent criminal or consistent drug addict because nobody's getting to the why.
Right. Oh man, that's so powerful. You must have been like a therapist or a
I need to.
philosopher in your past life, something like that.
I think so. I
Yeah.
think so. I don't know.
Are you the person everybody runs to when they have problems?
Yes, I am.
That's-
And I'm the strong one too that sometimes just need to break.
Yeah. So how did you balance your frequency and energy, right? Because you're constantly pouring out,
Mhm.
right? And then our life is like a battery. Sometimes it goes on E. We need to
Mhm.
recharge. How do you recharge?
I just pull away. I shut down for like a day or two. Like I delete all my social media. Not delete it. I delete the apps. Um, right now, I remove myself from certain places and things and people, so I don't put myself in other things that will trigger me to, you know what I'm saying? This place right here,
Yeah.
home, is your sacred place.
Yeah.
And I have a peaceful house. My girls are on the same frequency I am. They got their chakras. They're grounded. This is what my house. There's no arguing. There's no fussing. There's no fighting. It's just peaceful. We have a cat. Shout out to Malibu. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You live in a peaceful life.
it's peaceful. So, but it hasn't always been like this. I literally had to program myself to be this type of person. Like, I done fought before. I done been to jail before. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done been angry. But that just goes back to what I was saying with, you don't know how to process those emotions. You don't really know how to, explain it without being looked at as you're complaining, or shut up before I get you something to cry about, or you'll be all right. Blah, blah. So now even with my kids, I listen to them. They respect me, but I still give them, the opportunity to tell me how they feel without,
That's important.
without being like, you're wrong. I wish you would feel like that. I'm gonna give you something to cry. No, okay, I'm listening. There's certain things, and I tell them I don't condemn or condone, because there are things that I can't change because you're an individual and that's your mind and that's how you feel. But I'm gonna continue to pour into you until there's nothing left in me. So I just want people to be more soft on life
Yeah, people tend to take life way too serious.
and be more soft on people and where they are in their life and what they can be dealing with. Like, I would have never knew you were deaf.
Mhm.
You come out phenomenal, but breaking down and having the conversation, it gives me a different appreciation for you. Gives me appreciation for how you pulled up, you drove all the way here, you set this up, you waited for me to come back. That's appreciation. And those are the small things, gratitude and appreciation, that we got to be willing to, you know, like just spread out and give to others, because opening the door if somebody's walking in, holding the door as they walk in,
Right.
seeing people and saying good morning, or that's a cute shirt, or just it's little things that can help go a long way.
Yo, it's crazy that you said that. This is guy, I forgot his name. Yeah, I forgot it. But he jumped off the San Francisco Bridge,
Mhm.
right? And he talks about that,
He
how
lived.
Hmm.
He lived.
and he lived, and that's no one lives. He's like
Mhm.
probably the only person that lived jumping that bridge, and he was on a bus, and he was hoping that somebody just said something to
You know what? I think I know that story. I just
Yeah.
caught chills.
Yeah,
Yep. And
and it's
nobody said
exactly what
nothing.
you're explaining. It's
Yep.
like, yo, he was, even when he got off the bus, he was looking at the bus driver and hoping that the
Yep.
bus driver would stop him or just say something.
Mhm.
And he's just like, get off the bus.
Yep.
And
I
it's
heard this.
often times where we go through our own stuff in life
Mhm.
that we forget the bigger picture,
Yep.
right? I think your purpose here is beyond you.
It is.
You focus on everybody else to uplift, to inspire, to motivate. And within that, that's a blessing within itself. And I wish more people would like you, man, for real.
Well, I'm gonna do my job to continue being that inspiration for people to, like, yo, if she can do that, or if she's moving like this, I can do it too.
Mm.
And even if you can't, just take a little piece of something.
Right.
Like I said,
I tend to do that. I tend to take things and people that I'm inspired by
Mhm.
and just kind of emulate one or two things and make it work for me.
And that's what I'm saying. Even if it's not exactly what I do or how I am, as long as it's working for you and you're utilizing some piece of that knowledge, that gem, to make somebody else's life better. Like I get a thrill out of just being that person.
That's dope, man. You're such a sweet person, man.
Thank you.
I literally
Like I
enjoy
said, I ain't perfect,
No, everybody
have my
has their
focus, but
flaws, man. And what I like to do, I like to bring people up, regardless, right? What you have, what you accomplish doesn't define who you are.
right.
How you treat people,
Yes,
your character,
that's right.
morals,
That's right.
integrity.
Yeah,
That's literally what defines you
that's
as a
true.
human.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And again, it's all a matter of what life are you trying to be in the world? Because if I was like that, like my kids would be like that.
Yeah.
They're
It's really
literally
everything that you do.
me. When it comes to my heart, how I am, they're me. Like Brooklyn, that's the one. She just walked in. They will. She will be at a stoplight, and if it's money in the car, she let down the back window. Here you go to the homeless. Like I don't even gotta say nothing. That's just what she's seen, so she emulates it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So what else do you have going on besides the book, the services? Let's talk a little bit about that. What type of services? Oh,
I do blog servicing, because a lot of people can't get to the blogs. They don't know how to communicate with them. And then when I say blogs, I'm like the underground hip hop blogs. So I can service the blogs for you. I can register your artist name on ASCAP or BMI. I do DistroKid, where I take your music and upload it for you for 1 year. I do the road running artist development, where I take you on the road, teach you how to be an artist, what you're gonna have to look forward to. I got my book, and then I don't know when this is gonna air, but my NFT collection called the Golden Ticket will drop. That Golden Ticket gets you a 30-minute consultation, of the ebook, and a slot into the workshop. So
that is
yeah,
amazing.
for one price.
That is amazing. What made you get into NFTs? Are you big into like the
Man,
crypto
I'm
space?
still learning.
Yes,
Still learning. I got this kid and family. Shout out to Lockman NFT. Follow him on Instagram. He's the bomb.com. He's teaching me, but if NFTs and cryptocurrency and all that stuff is really taking over.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to get left
coming
behind.
by storm.
And by me revamping my whole entity and brand, why not go towards the NFT thing? Because I do have a tangible,
Right. You have a
situation. I have a tangible product and service. So why not do it that way? And then make it a golden ticket. That means only certain people can be in this room, to where you are now in a special room for the duration, however long you want to be in here, to where you're in a community of people that you could talk to, that you could get access to me whenever you need. And this is a golden ticket versus somebody who might buy the book, but they need the workshop, or they need this, but they didn't get all of that. So I like the whole idea of the NFT, because I just think, again, it just adds more leverage and exposure to my brand.
Yeah, that is amazing. Like you said, it builds a community.
Yep.
If somebody wants to get close to you, buy NFT.
You want to get close NFT. I mean, and like I said, I reached that level to where Yeah, you gotta. I like being accessible to an extent, but we're gonna put me up here so that it makes the value more, and that's a big thing too.
But everything is going digital.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, your real life is going to be more important digitally
Hmm.
than it is in reality.
Yeah,
Just
because
it
right
feels-
now that's exactly what's going on. People sit there. Our phones are in our hand 25/8. 4 billion people are on social media every day. 4 billion people. That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
And some people can't do anything without their phone in their hand. My phone is only down because I'm talking to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I literally feel like I'm.
But that's your job.
It is, and some, you know.
I think that's why it's important for me because it's all about energy when I bring people on. I have to see your energy, where you at, where you willing to take it, where you not, right? Often I come on here and I ask people, what is off the books, what you don't want to display and stuff like
You
that.
didn't ask me that.
Don't think I asked you that because we just vibed off so good, and I'm like, there's nothing that I've seen that I want to talk about, or you may want to not talk about that I would display.
Yeah, true.
Because I've been doing a lot of investigation on like seeing your videos,
Yeah.
pictures and stuff like that. I'm like, she done set it off.
Yeah, I did.
What is there to not disclose?
Yeah, I'm an
So
open book. I'm definitely transparent. So
yeah, that is a big one. I think we've been here for a little minute.
yeah,
Yeah, you gotta
I was
go. Man.
looking-
So
my brother's calling, getting off work. I'm that person.
are we missing something?
I think we've covered it all. Y'all make sure to follow me though.
Yeah, we definitely gonna
Look,
put that out.
That's the only thing.
Listen, I appreciate your energy, man. Stay golden. Stay warm.
I'm an Aquarius.
You an Aquarius? I'm an Aries.
March what?
April 6th.
April. Okay.
My birthday's coming up. Again, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. You have any artists that you bringing up that you personally working with?
Shout out to my son Huncho. Get it right so we can get it right. I don't have any that I'm personally working with. Well, I have some. Okay, Who Slices Shit, Tony Boy. There's a bunch of artists. You just got to go to my page, but yeah, it's a very vast amount that I have worked with or have worked with. But I mean, at this point right now, the major focus is on Let Me Pull Some Stryngz for You, the book, and the person and the brand. And don't forget the golden ticket. The NFT collection drops tomorrow.
Where can people find you on social media?
Social media, go to Instagram. That's my main hub. It's going to be Stryngz Me. That's STRYNGZME. You'll see the default picture of a little girl in the 3rd grade who was so vulnerable. That's me. Yeah.
Yeah, you're so cool.
That's me. That's
Yeah, that's amazing. So we gonna tap out, man. I appreciate it again, man. Thank you guys for watching, listening. This was an amazing episode.
I'm so excited.
I'm
Thank you.
looking forward to doing something like this in the future.
Let's do it. We can recap.
Definitely. And any event or anything that you have going on in the future, reach out to me. The Fine brand would love to support anything that you have going
Thank
on.
you. I'll definitely keep you posted.
Definitely. So thank you guys for watching. See you next time.
Bye.